When I arrived in Catania, I was immediately captured by the unique beauty and charm about the Sicilian city. The vibrant streets, the impressive architecture, and the rich culture delight me from the very first moment. However, as I started to explore the city more deeply, I also realized that there were evident problems that could not be ignored. The signs of trouble and challenge are very present in Catania. As someone who appreciates the beauty and the history of a place, I also care deeply about the well-being of the community that lives in it. I believe that by exposing the truth about the Mafia and revealing the stories of resistance and hope, we can contribute to the raising of people awareness. Catania is a city with a long history dating back to antiquity. Over the centuries, it was been occupied by several cultures, including Greeks, Romans, Arabs, and Normans. However, it is important to note that the presence of mafia in Catania is closely related to the larger phenomenon of the Sicilian mafia. The Sicilian Mafia, also known as the Cosa Nostra, is a criminal organization that emerged in Sicily in the end of the 19th century. It grew out of a combination of the lack of effective governance and the poor socio-economic conditions of the territory. The mafia was based on a hierarchical, secretive structure that valued loyalty. Catania, like other Sicilian cities, was affected by the mafia influence over the years. The criminal organization had enormous presence in the city, infiltrating in various sectors, such as business, politics, construction, and even the security force. The mafia controlled various illegal activities like drug trafficking, extortion, illegal gambling, and murder. The mafia presence in Catania had devastating consequences for the city. General corruption and the fear imposed by the mafia had damaged confidence in the local institutions and damaged the economic and social development of Catania. The mafia over the years has been an object of fascination and admiration for many people. Movies like The Godfather and some film production have painted a romantic, glamorous, and even heroic picture of the mafia. It is important to understand that the mafia is not to be admired. The mafia is a criminal organization that engages in illegal activities such as extortion, drug trafficking, murder, and corruption. The reality is that the mafia is not driven by moral code but by power and profit, and when people follow only this, they don't think about the whole consequence. In addition, it's important to point out that the mafia caused enormous damage to the society of Catania. It is essential to demystify the romanticized image of the mafia and recognize the hard reality that lies behind it. We must reject any form of admiration for the mafia. By educating people about the true nature of the mafia and highlighting the negative consequences it brings, we can help to discourage admiration and build a safer society free from criminal influence. Always remember that the mafia is not a heroical entity like Robin Hood or worthy of admiration. It is a destructive force that harms people and the society, and we just must work to fight it and eliminate the power of mafia.
What is for you the biggest problem in Catania related to mafia?
I think that the biggest problem is the fact that we are the poorest region in Europe, and there is a lot of people, of young people that don't have possibilities for their future. There is a lot of social problem, economical problem, cultural problem, and this is a field in which mafia can establish its power, because if a person don't have a possibility for the future, it's very easy to find a work with the mafia, with drug, with pizzo.
How do you see Catania in the future?
I don't know, because politically I don't see a very light future for Catania, also at national level, because the government now there is an instrument for poor people that is called reddito di cittadinanza. It's an economical instrument for poor people to survive, but the government is going to stop this instrument. So I don't know. I hope that civil society association, citizen can fight, can have
Instrument?
value, an instrument, an ideas, some ideas about democracy, corruption, anti-mafia, and can auto-organize to fight mafia.
We are in Catania. Catania is a very complicated city because in the central part of the city we have a lot of poor people. But the little town near Catania, in this town they are the richest cities of the south of Italy. So in Catania we have two different words. The word of rich people with many money, the white collars that manage the money of mafia, and we have people involved with mafia, but the poorest people of the city. Thousands and thousands of people in the bad district of the city, in the center of the city, that don't have money, they don't have a job, they don't have a future, and now they don't find a new future, a new work, a new possibility to hope in something. And this is Catania, and this is the world where mafia grow up. In the origin, mafia was the bandits, little private army that defend the landlords, the very rich people in a feudal system. It's like now, poor people in the city that defend the interests of rich people that live out of the city, in this little town on the volcano Etna. And we decide to fight against mafia, not because for us it's a moral problem or it's a legality problem. We decide to fight against mafia for our future and for a new world in which we haven't rich people that dominate the poor people, the thousands and thousands of poor people. We want equality. We want new possibility for all the people. In Catania, the 20% of children don't follow the school, don't go to school. We have many and many people that don't write and don't read very well. It's an interest of the power. Leave people without education. Leave people without opportunities. Leave people without the desire to be better people. So we decide to fight. And how? How Archie, how people like me decide and do something to fight mafia. I'm a journalist, I write articles, but with our organization, I Siciliani and Archie, we organize demonstration against this system of power, against the politician involved with mafia, and we decide to start a new project today start this project. It's a project for tell to the people the story of confiscated place, of confiscated goods. In Italy, we have a law to take the goods of mafiosi and for reuse these goods for social interests, for social issues, to transform the villas of mafia in kindergarten, in schools, in social service for people. But this law is not applied. We start from today a tour in Sicily to discover these places confiscated to the mafia and to denounce the abandon of this place and to try to create a new future for these goods. In this way, we try to fight against mafia, building a new society. And we want to build this society inside, in the villas of mafiosi, to demonstrate that the people is more powerful of mafia.
Okay.
So Arci Catania, together with i Siciliani, try to, with all the people and with all the other things that we do, try to mapping all the confiscated goods that are in this province. Sometimes happen very strange things, like I can tell you a really not very funny story. Like for example about the problem about the communication. There is probably the institution very probably they tried, but they really don't know sometimes that for example in confiscated goods they are not very confiscated. Really inside them there are the people that lives before, so the people involved with the mafia, with this criminal organization. So about the funny story, we had to call the police and the carabinieri because they didn't know nothing. And when we arrived in this place, always we have to remember that they knew that we knew that we are arriving, so they extracted everything in this place. So they took away also the trees, the pavements, everything. It was everything distracted. So it was not a very funny story, but about, for example, now how we see in Mafia, this organization here, I can tell about the very young people, because as a teacher I saw and I heard the thoughts of the teenagers with I worked with, and sometimes they are very strange. Like for example, there are films, TV series that maybe is known in the world, like Il Padrino, The Good Father, or I don't know, we are talking about before TV shows that he calls il capo dei capi, so the boss of the bosses, and especially with this, sometimes it seems like they try to do we try to make seeing this like good things. So this is not like this. This is the problem, because some people thinks that this is a very huge and funny organization. Is not like that. In the reality, is very bad. For example, some of my students had very strict contact with people that were involved with the mafia. For example, there was son or daughter of a mafia boss, and they are a very mature foe, I think, because I spoke with them and I asked some question about the mafia, and they answered to me in a very mature way, because they know that this is not good. And to demonstrate them the change to what we do on this place, I organized an outing, uscita, a didactic outing, we can say that? Okay, didactic outing, and we went to Giardino di Scida, the Garden of Scida. There is a confiscated place to the mafia that used to be of the lover of Nitto Santa Paola. So I want to show them that in a terrible way, in a terrible world, we can change the things, because the place that before belongs to someone that was involved with the mafia, with this criminal organization, can change and can become a way and a place where we can do beautiful things and we can change and we can fight against the mafia.
I want to make it clear that we are not just talking about history, but about the current reality. The mafia is still operating in Catania and throughout Italy in a completely different way. We need to understand that the mafia is no longer a criminal organization that sells drugs. Today it has become a sophisticated system of corruption influencing politics, business and organizations. It is a complex web of dark connections that continues to perpetuate injustice. Only through firm and joint action based on full transparency, justice and international cooperation can we effectively confront the mafia and protect the future of Italy.